UFOs are real, burgeoning, and not going away. I am your intrepid host with a very special UFO update. We'll get into that, but first, a word from our trusted sponsor. Hey folks, Marzulli here. Groceries, rent, and gas aren't the only bills rising to unaffordable levels. Air conditioning bills are reaching record highs. As summer approaches with scorching temperatures from heat waves, a shocking 20 million households are behind on their power bills. Folks, make yourself happy and cool as I am this summer by visiting www.easysummercool.com. That's once again, www.easysummercool.com, or simply click the link in the description for 60% off today with a 60-day risk-free guarantee and fast USA shipping. Check it out, folks. Once again, easysummercool.com. Got a couple of shows here today and, of course, Friday. And the reason for this is I want to give you a glimpse into what is the truth. Films 9 and 10 in our ongoing UFO series. I think you're going to find them absolutely interesting, as well, of course, all 8 that we have available. There's our Roswell 1 and 2. You can go to streaming.lamarzulli.net. For $4.99, we've lowered the price. Why? We want to get the information to you. Do your homework, folks. I can't keep saying that enough. The late Chuck Missler said that all the time, and I've adopted that saying because, you know, little shorts here on YouTube are great and they're wonderful. It's a great platform, and thank you for coming here. But there's nothing like a deep dive. Check it out. Streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net. The first clip I'm going to show you is from Gonzo. Some of you may know him because he had his own YouTube channel and it was just amazing. And he comes on the record talking about what is the truth. What are we really looking at with the whole UFO phenomena? Here's the interview. Hope you enjoy it.
I think there's multiple things happening. First off, there's likely military craft that we don't know about. High level, top secret stuff that our tax dollars are likely paying for. And there's that end of it. There's also a spiritual thing going on, I believe, a supernatural thing going on where entities from the other side are poking their heads through. And that is probably demonic, is likely demonic. And what the New Agers and some people suggest as being a thing that is helping them or helping humanity, I think that's all a ruse. It's a deception, and it's causing a lot of people to believe in something, believe in a savior, believe in a salvation that is not of Jesus Christ.
So my second question is, we're already seeing stuff on Fox News,
Disclosure.
Tucker Carlson,
Yeah.
Disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the next step is in the disclosure deal?
I really do think they are prepping the masses for a revealing of some kind. I don't know if it's going to be real so-called aliens or some kind of fake thing with Project Bluebeam has been talked about, but they're definitely conditioning the masses for some kind of revealing of technology, maybe first, and then definitely entities to come. Because right now we have a generation that is not really into things like Freemasonry openly, although there are modern Freemasons. Cultural leaders like Tom DeLonge, who was the lead singer, one of the singers for a band called Blink-182, a band I grew up listening to, he not only is putting out the Masonic symbolism out there, but he also has organizations called Academy for the Stars, really prepping the masses, getting all the young people that were into his music to start accepting this idea that there might be aliens out there and that they're here to help us.
When Tucker Carlson talked to David Fravor, the F-18 pilot, that was the first run of disclosure, in my opinion, December 2017. Even though the New York Times had run an article prior to that, but all of a sudden Fravor's on, and this has to do with Tom DeLonge too. Yeah. So, what's your take on Fravor?
I don't know. It seems like some of these folks who are being placed out there to reveal some of these things, it feels like a controlled dissemination of information, but other than that, I'm not sure. I don't know what to think of it.
What do you think the future holds?
Chaos. I think a lot of chaos. We're going to see a lot of changes, obviously, culturally, people being prepared for, again, perhaps entities that will reveal themselves as saviors, maybe enhanced humans, maybe as some kind of resurrection of somebody who might have died, who is influential. The technology is really the key piece here. I think the technology aspect of it, you don't need gray aliens to walk out onto the stage as long as you have the technological miracles, quote unquote, to make it look like there's something really supernatural going on. But the technology is, I think, creating that deception. And I think people are being prepped with our cell phones, with all of the fake news stuff in the media. We're being prepped for some kind of revealing. And up until that point, I think we're going to see more and more chaos, more and more division, more and more just violence, unfortunately. And it's going to come from all angles, political, economic. I do think there's an economic crash, just like 2008 imminent. Perhaps by the time this is being viewed, it has already happened, another crash. But yeah, I think a lot of changes are at hand, and I think technology is going to spark a lot of the salvation type of thinking in the masses. And with that comes some kind of human being, or maybe perhaps an enhanced being, or maybe they'll reveal themselves as aliens, extraterrestrials, whatever it is, some kind of supernatural or beyond human to get the people to rally around this world and the basically the Antichrist.
Do you think these crafts are nuts and bolts?
I think some are. Some are probably nuts and bolts. There are tons of reports of UFOs that seem to have more of a hard physical presence to them, but others are definitely not. And so I think those are the ones that we should probably be more concerned about. The military craft, sure, those are, they're troubling. The fact that they're not telling us, the fact that they're not revealing those things. Why are they hiding it? Maybe it's just a military reason to conceal things against the enemy or other countries or whatnot. But now that we're entering this phase of globalism, who is going to be the enemy? Who is going to be the helpers? And I think those are all going to be part of the narrative that unfolds as we march into the 2020s here.
So Gonz is telling it just like it is. The UFO phenomenon is not going away, folks. Is it going to ramp up? Are we going to have full disclosure? Or is some event going to happen that will trigger the revealing? That's the punchline to 9 and 10. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. You need to do a deep dive. And all this to say this, that right now we've got a pre-sale going on the hard discs. So if you want the DVDs, LAMarzulli.com, LAMarzulli.com. The pre-sale goes until Sunday. That's why we're kind of rolling this out today and tomorrow. There'll be an interview with Nick Pope. By the way, I will be at the Prophecy Watchers Conference in Colorado Springs. Can't wait. What are you waiting for? ProphecyWatchers.com. Don't forget the mugs right there. What is it? What is this one? Yeah. Rebuke first and ask questions later. So the mugs are shipping. You can check that out, LAMarzulli.com. Thanks for coming here. Thanks for subscribing. But I can't stress this enough, folks. We've had 10 films that'll be done here. The cutoff, the deadline for these, of course, is Sunday. That's why pre-order now, LAMarzulli.com, and you can save $10. It's a great deal. The streaming will not be available for like a week later, and that'll start at $9.99. Then we'll drop the price. Lots going on. Do your homework. Get the books. Read the DVDs. Everything that we've talked about for decades is beginning to manifest. By the way, we had an offer on the hats. We do have 2 of them right here. We're offering them both. The starting price for the bidding is $1,000. We've had one offer at $1,000 for one of the hats. So we're excited about that. That money will be used to finance our trip across the pond. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Remember, UFOs are real, burgeoning, not going away.
Officials endeavoring to obtain all top flying saucers.
Marcel's own words, it was something that he'd never seen before. Something from another world. In our opinion, Marcel was the patsy.
Just verbal directions, we know what about it.
That his father was telling the truth.
He dead in the eye, and he said, it really happened, and he held his hand up just like this. They had 6 fingers, not 5.
He said they looked quite a bit like us.
Do you think your grandfather was a patsy?
100%.
The cover-up by the U.S. military.
Do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
I can't discuss in public setting.
Do we have the bodies of the pilots?
Biologics came to some of these recoveries.
He deliberately obfuscated and they lied to the American people.
when the Pentagon decided to lie about what happened at Roswell.
Because standing 6 feet away, this little being about 3.5 foot tall. She said the nurses who were there during the crash, they're now at a convent.
The first book that Randall wrote, and he said to Jess, he said, that's not fiction.
But for everybody, I mean, this is a human thing. It's a worldwide changing, be life-changing for everybody.
It was certainly not a weather balloon and not something from this earth.